The world's kind of going crazy. Clearly, I need a haircut at this point because beard and the hair is starting to get way too long. But the barbershops are all closed, so kind of out of luck on that regard. All right, let's see what we got. So, what's the most impressive lifts you see in your career as a strength coach? Uh, if we're talking athlete wise, one of the most impressive things I saw was a guy that I was training back in for the longest time, like from 2012 through to basically what, 2018 ish. We're doing inertia front squats. This guy was a national team member of our Canadian track and field team, and on an inertia front squat, working on just the top 6 inches of the range. It didn't matter if we were at 400, 500, or I think we topped out at about 650 pounds. The bar moved at the exact same speed the entire time. So that was pretty damn impressive that he was just able to keep the same bar speed throughout the entire movement, regardless of what weight was on the bar. Other than that, it's seeing a 400-meter guy do a 500-pound back squat while only weighing 175 pounds at the time, and this is full ass to heel back squat. And then he was also able to power clean 300 pounds. He could bench 300. It's just unfortunate that it didn't always come together on the track for him, because strength-wise, he was probably in the top 5 strongest 400-meter runners on the planet, if not the strongest at that moment. That also just goes to show you that strength isn't everything. It's a part of the puzzle. Back in, I think it was about 2016, the local YMCA gym, the last day that it was open, every guy in there, from the power lifters, where you had guys who were 800-pound deadlifters, 500-pound bench press, you had Olympic lifters that could clean and jerk 400 pounds, all in the gym at the same time, all setting PRs on certain lifts. It was just an amazing sight. The atmosphere was unbelievable for lifting. It was, you see a girl go in there and she would deadlift 450 pounds for 5 reps. So a guy walks in, no warm-ups, just cold off the street, back squats 315 for, I think Willie did 33 reps for a full back squat at 315 pounds. You had guys, multiple guys, either with a slingshot or just raw bench pressing 400, 500 pounds. I think the top was about 550 pounds with the slingshot that day. It was just unbelievable what was going on. Now, I'm not going to get into whether they were natural or not. Who cares right now? These were impressive lifts regardless. The lift you still have to get under the damn bar and pick it up, or press it, or squat it. So those were some of the most impressive things I've ever seen in that regard. A girl I was training a couple of years ago went from literally barely being able to back squat 95 pounds in the beginning to up over 215 pounds within 3 months. So that to me was fairly impressive, just the rate of progress that she saw. And she was doing this while still training competitively in her sport. So just on that as well, athletes who are doing sports aren't always going to see the best numbers in the weight room. You have to consider they're not always going to be focusing just purely on getting strong on the lifts. The strength component for them is just a part of the puzzle to make them perform better or to remove the risk for injury. All right, so a question that literally just popped in: lower body exercise progression for someone with ankle mobility issues, especially for someone who overpronates at the bottom of the squat. Front foot elevated split squat to start out. Basically, that's how I start almost everyone out. So you start out front foot elevated split squat. It could be a 6-inch elevation for them, and you focus on making it so that they're pushing through the whole foot. Cue that I picked up back in 2012 was kind of push your toes into the ground, and it kind of forces you to have a little more stable position. You could do this on a regular split squat. You could do this when you're doing a lunge. You could do this on a regular squat, front squat, doesn't matter. It seems to always work in that regard. If they're overpronating, you got to take a look at the ankle specifically to see what's causing it. Is there a dysfunction going on? Is there something else going on with the foot? Is it an Achilles plantar fascia issue that's causing it? It's just they're overactivated on certain muscles. Or are they just very discoordinated? Because a lot of people are very uncoordinated these days. You see teenagers barely able to chew gum and walk at the same time without tripping over their own 2 feet. So we got to keep in mind of what people are capable of doing. I always go from the front foot elevated split squat down to a regular split squat. My preference for the most part is using either dumbbells or a low pulley. The reason I don't like to default to doing a barbell on back or barbell in a front rack position for a split squat is a lot of people, they lose their balance really quick, and with the barbell on the back, they can't bail if something goes really wrong. They are kind of stuck that way, and then you end up seeing them smash their back knee into the ground. When they're more coordinated, or you're dealing with someone who's a little bit more adept in the weight room, then okay, yes, giving them the rear foot elevated, front foot elevated split squat with a barbell on the back. But the vast majority of people aren't going to be able to do that for a long time, if ever. So moving from the front foot to the both feet flat on the ground split squats, then getting into perhaps heel elevated squats, moving all the way down into doing a regular back squat. And again, since how it's the ankle that's overpronating, you have to take a look at what's causing it. Is it actually a mobility issue, or is it that they have a muscle activation issue that they've been compensating for so long? Is it a previous injury that's been causing it? So keeping in mind these things is what's going to really be the what you're able to use to fix it. Like for me, I have a history of sprained ankles and whatnot, so I just have to keep conscious of that. So a follow-up question is, when would you use low pulley for split squat? When would you not use it, basically? I like to use it because it keeps tension on the muscle the entire time. You're not able to bail out. Like if you're doing a dumbbell or even a bodyweight split squat, the only time that you're under tension is when you're going down at the bottom and coming up. But at the top, there's not really any tension in the muscle anymore. So this pulley keeps tension in the muscle because it's always trying to pull you out of position. It's going to keep your postural positioning as well because you're trying not to twist, you're trying not to get bent forward, you're trying to keep your torso nice and upright, you're keeping the front leg activated so that your knee doesn't end up bending and so that you don't get pulled forward. So when using the low pulley, I really don't put a time frame on that. As soon as someone's coordinated enough, put them on there. All right, so what do you think will happen to the fitness industry from this coronavirus? To be honest, the fitness industry is taking a nut shot right now. It's like being hoofed in the groin 10 times by 10 elite soccer players. My hope at the end of this is that it's going to make it so that the fitness industry as a whole has to be better. We have to be better overall. A lot of the fitness industry right now is putting out all these conspiracy theories online. They're putting out all kinds of crazy talk, and it just makes us look crazy and bad. We have to be better at the end of the day. We can't be doing this dumb stuff right now. We have to consciously think of how we can provide actual value to our clients, not just our clients who we have one-on-one or online, but our prospective clients, our clients' friends, and whatnot. It's a knock-on effect. If anyone's ever read Darren Hardy's The Compound Effect, this is it in material form. This is it happening in raw, visceral, real time. As we put out crazier stuff, people start to look at us a little funnier. If we're putting out all this crazy stuff, we lose credibility among other professionals. There's a reason why the fitness industry is looked at by other professional jobs and careers as being a bit of a joke, because we put out this crazy stuff. We're so fragmented as well. My hope is that this coronavirus, although yes, it sucks, it's ravaging us. I'm out of business right now in-person training because of it. Every other gym I know is closed. Every gym in Canada right now is closed. In the US, I think every gym has been ordered to close. So that's going to be billions of dollars of economic loss right there. It doesn't matter what the government tries to pump in, because at the end of the day, our clients are losing money. So that's going to have a knock-on effect when this is over, and then they're not able to afford our services necessarily. So it's going to have a knock-on ripple effect. My hope, as I started this off with, is that we're going to become a better industry. We're going to self-police our industry better. We're not going to have this crazy, I know I'm doing this on Instagram, but this crazy Instagram following stuff of the most asinine, stupid stuff out there being put out as being credible. Hopefully, we're able to come together and kind of get the crap out of our industry now, because all these people are like, oh, it's easy to be a trainer, you just need a weekend certification. Hopefully, these people are now pushed out of it. Hopefully, these people are not the ones who are going to benefit. That's my hope. My hope is that people who have valued education and have put themselves at the forefront of being credible, giving good information, providing value to their customers and clients are going to be the ones who see a return on their kind of investment on their time. Companies like Ultimate Performance, I hope, do well. The Sport Speed Institute in Washington, I'm sure Coach Cav down there is going to do great after this. Obviously, I hope I'm going to do great. I'm hoping that I come out of this somehow on top, if all goes to plan and works out. I'm hoping that some of the friends I've got in the industry do very well after this. Now, at the same time, I'm really hoping that it also brings our industry together to be better. I'm hoping that people start to realize that we're all in this together. We have to hold ourselves to a higher standard. Just like doctors have to hold each other to a standard, whether it's inpatient care or the crazy stuff they'll put out online, you'll see doctors kind of police each other. We need to start doing that. We can't have this Wild West bravado anymore. We have to make it so that it's less egocentric to the trainers, because our industry pulls in the most egocentric, crazy-ass people who, just because they're either sauced up or great genetics, think, I can be a trainer because, oh, I look good. Hopefully, it makes it so that the clients, our customers, really start to reach out and try to find good trainers. Rob just wrote in The Purge. That's something that I've said to him a few times, that this could be a bit of a purge situation for the industry. I don't see it necessarily as a bad thing, because I'm all about bringing a higher standard to our industry. Hopefully that answers the question on that. So something just to keep in mind for everyone is be wary of what you read on social media right now. A lot of people are putting out information that they're just regurgitating from other sources. There's voicemails going out of stuff that's going on in Spain. Unless you are a healthcare worker right now, don't be putting out crazy ideas. And please, let's stop the conspiracy theories. Let's get it so that we can come together and so that we can help each other at the end of all of this. Let's be, as humanity, let's just be better. Let's stop the crazy, stupid talk. All right, so that's basically it, since we got no other questions coming in. I hope everyone's having an excellent quarantine kind of period right now. Things to focus on for everyone, since how you can't necessarily go to a gym. In some places you might be almost locked in your house. You can still do stuff. You can still body weight stuff. You can still do some push-ups, some sit-ups, some squats, step-ups, Supermans, which is basically you lay on your belly and you lift your upper body and your legs up off the ground. There's still lots of stuff you could do. If you're able to get outside, go for a walk. Right now in Ottawa, it's sunny, it's beautiful out. It's going up to, I think, 8 degrees Celsius. So for those Americans watching this who like to call us the Great White North, hey, it's a very balmy day for us today. And tomorrow it's going up to 10 degrees. So it's going to be great. Let's take advantage of this. Let's get good quality sleep. 8 hours a night. Let's get some good food into us. Stop eating the processed crap. One of the things that has been coming out of this whole coronavirus thing is that so many of the people who are most drastically affected by it are people with multiple pre-existing health conditions. A lot of that is nutrition-based and lifestyle-based. So I hope that what comes out of this as well is that we take our health a little more seriously, we stop eating so much high processed foods and refined foods, and we get back to the basics of what our body needs and stop resorting to using food as a pleasure source. Let's get it so that we're all going to be leading healthier lives, more active lives, and reduce our rates of heart conditions, high blood pressure, and diabetes, as these keep on coming up as high risk mortality risks with COVID-19.
Alright, thank you for watching right to the end of this video. If you'd like to see more content by me, click the subscribe button here, and for another YouTube suggested video by me, click here. And if you liked what you saw today, don't forget, click the little like button below. Until next time, Coach Tony, Wrestling Podium Performance.